Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather. A lot of you might be familiar with our very popular color combo wallet. This is a black Dublin with teal Latigo interior, Johnny the Fox. And this wallet has remained a staple on our website for the last 10 years or so. We decided it'd be a really fun idea to try that same color combination, but use it on all of our different styles. So we've made several different wallets and one watch strap to show you today. We also have a couple shell cordovan pieces that we'll get into as well. All of the wallets that we're about to look at, including the black Dublin Johnny the Fox here with the teal interior, these are all available on the private stock page of our website, ashlandleather.com. Let's start off first with a Capone money clip. Beautiful piece of black Dublin on the outside, again with that teal color combination on the interior. There's something about these two colors that go very nicely together. I think that's why it's been a hit for the last 10 years. I love the black Dublin leather that Horween makes. For me, it's the most interesting black leather around because it's very naturally finished and it has exceptional natural grain character. So as I rock it around to the light here, you might be able to see some of that subtle fine grain texture. And on the interior of this Capone, we have a black spring bar money clip, which pairs perfectly. Up next is a traveler passport holder, again with the black Dublin on the outside and teal Latigo on the interior. We designed the traveler passport holder to be just like our Fat Herbie, except for we extended the length just a little bit taller so you can more easily accommodate a passport on the inside. And the teal Latigo is a really vibrant blue shade. It's not something that you're able to get on most leathers that are heavily oiled or heavily waxed, which is why it works great on the Latigo leather. Horween's Latigo is a vegetable retanned leather, but it does not have a ton of oils and waxes in it, which is what allows us to get this really nice vibrant shade. Let's look at some of our minimalist Frank the Enforcer card holders. We have a few different versions to show you. Let's start off with a 5-slot Frank the Enforcer here with alternating black Dublin and teal Latigo card holders. We have that same combination on the back as well as on the front. And then we have the inverse of that with teal Latigo on top of black Dublin on top of more teal Latigo, and then the same on the back. These are our 5-slot Frank the Enforcer variations, which has one additional card slot on the back. Here's one more Frank the Enforcer, but this is our traditional card orientation. You can see that on the back here, we have one card slot with a thumb notch. That is the difference between the traditional here and the 5-slot we just looked at. This one is alternating black Dublin on top of teal. And we've been selling a bunch of NATO straps in shell cordovan. Thought it would be a good opportunity here to give you one in the teal Latigo. And this NATO strap is 20 millimeters. It fits perfectly into our theme of black and teal because we've included some black hardware for the keepers and the buckle. And then we did a black hand stitch. Here's a one of one piece, a Fat Herbie this time. Love the look of black and teal together. And the outside of this Fat Herbie, we have the black Dublin sitting on top of the teal Latigo with some contrasting black stitching. On the inside, we have some hidden card slots, also made in that teal Latigo. You might be able to see them rather easily right there. This one has black card holders on top of the teal, and then you get to see the back side of the teal from the front side in the center here. Up next is our normal Fat Herbie. No hidden card slots on this guy, but we still have the black Dublin on the outside with teal on the inside. And here's the baby brother to the Fat Herbie. This is what we call the Tony the Ant. It's the same aesthetic as the Fat Herbie, just shrunken down in the form factor. A little bit smaller than the Fat Herbie. Tony the Ant is about the size of a deck of cards, but let me give you a size difference, a size comparison rather, with the Tony on top of the Herbie. I mentioned we have the same aesthetic as the Herbie with this exterior bill slot. There's a thumb notch in the back, but on the inside of the Tony the Ant, we have 4 card slots. And I have a pair of vertical Bugs Moran to show you. This one is black Dublin. And if you're not familiar with the black Dublin, it's actually tanned using the same tree barks as the shell cordovan. Very similar recipe in the black Dublin compared to the shell, but it's just made on a different hide. So black Dublin is made on a steer hide, and the shell cordovan, of course, is made on the horse hide. On the inside of this one, here's a look at the vertical card slots with that teal Latigo. And let's take a closer look at the shell cordovan version. You can see the shell cordovan is very bright and shiny, very much a mirror-like sheen on every piece of shell. And that's exactly what you want to look for in any piece of cordovan leather. It should also be very flat and smooth and feel very flat and even as well. Let's look at the inside of this guy with the Horween ink stamp cut into the center with more teal Latigo for the vertical card slots. And one last wallet to show you. This time it's a little bit of a screwball because we have some tumbled black shell cordovan on the outside of this Tony the Ant. And it's got a really cool texture. Every time you tumble a piece of shell cordovan, it sort of ripples up in random ways that are not able to be prescribed. So every time they tumble a piece of shell cordovan, they're just a little bit different. I really like these sort of ripples in the shell, especially on the black color. I think that turned out great. We also have the teal Latigo on the inside. It's fun for me to see this because we don't normally combine shell cordovan with non-shell cordovan leathers for the Tony the Ant, but I think it looks really nice. So let's circle back to where it all began with this guy here. This is the black Dublin with teal Latigo. And of course now we have black shell cordovan with teal Latigo. This one I think is the belle of the ball. The shells on these pieces are very, very nice. Some of the nicest pieces of shell cordovan that I've ever seen from Horween, and we've just been receiving them. So they're doing a great job still, even after 120 years or however they've, I think it's 118 years, if I'm doing my math correctly, making great leather there, even after all these years. If you have any questions about the black and teal event that we got going on, please don't hesitate to leave a comment. Until next time, I hope you have a good one.